Testimony has resumed in Donald Trump's criminal trial out of New York City. But before witnesses could take the stand, there was a hearing over another round of alleged gag order violations by the former president. Trump was ordered to pay $9,000 earlier this week because he made social media posts about people involved in the case. Our Errol Barnett is outside of the courthouse for us there in Manhattan. So, Errol, what did the judges have to say today regarding Trump's gag order?
Hey there, Lana. Great to see you this afternoon. Well, the proceedings began with the prosecution detailing 4 instances in which they say Donald Trump violated the existing gag order. One of those examples we can actually show with you. It includes when Donald Trump was visiting a construction site in the Midtown Manhattan before court proceedings, and he was asked by the press who were assembled there what he thought of what was happening. Let's show you what he was asked and what he said.
No, he's been very nice. David's been very nice. He's a nice guy.
Great, you're good.
Just for a bit of context, in case it was difficult to hear, he was asked about what he thought about David Pecker's testimony. That's the former publisher of the National Enquirer. He was taking the stand in those days, Thursday, April 25th, which was when that clip was recorded. And Trump said, I think he's a very nice guy, a very nice guy. Now, the prosecution says that's tantamount to witness tampering because David Pecker was a close friend of Trump's and knows a lot of information about him. And perhaps this was a signal to him to not give too much away. And the prosecution said that's proof that Trump continues to try to influence the outcome of this trial. Judge Juan Merchan did say that nobody forced your client, when talking to Trump's lawyer, to go to the stand or to speak, and that it's no surprise to anyone that it's no surprise that we have a former president of the United States on trial. He's a leading candidate for the Republican Party. These are not excuses for why he's able to speak out against jurors who he says are liberal and mostly Democrat, and witnesses like David Pecker. The judge did not make a decision yet, Lana, but we know that he's already instituted a $9,000 fine for the previous violations, and he's threatened Trump with being put behind bars if he continues to be outside the bounds of what any criminal defendant can do. So we await a decision on these 4 additional potential violations.
And Errol, we're also hearing more from Stormy Daniels and Michael Cohen's lawyer, Keith Davidson, today. What has he said?
Yeah, so Keith Davidson was the lawyer of both Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal and was representing their hush money agreements. And so he connected the dots with Michael Cohen, who sent Davidson the $130,000 payoff for the hush money. And more specifically, Lana, Keith Davidson connected the dots from right before the 2016 election, when these deals were made, through 2016 and into 2018. In fact, he confirmed what's called a side letter agreement. This is the document that names Stormy Daniels as Peggy Peterson and Trump as David Dennison. He also confirmed texts after the election between him and someone from the National Enquirer, Dylan Howard, in which they said, "What have we done?" And he testified that that meant that they understood that their suppression of these stories helped elevate Trump and get him into the White House. And he also conveyed Cohen's reaction to the McDougal story going public in 2016, saying the boss was very upset. Now remember, Donald Trump is sitting in the courtroom watching all of this. He can testify on his own behalf, but that leaves him open to cross-examination, intense cross-examination from the prosecution. So if he decides not to do that, this is the jury's way of hearing from witnesses who are under oath and have to tell the truth that Donald Trump was behind this scheme to suppress these alleged affairs, that suppressing those affairs helped him get into the White House in 2016, and even White House staff, as you saw Hope Hicks on the screen just a few moments ago, also inside the White House actively tried to suppress these stories until they did become public in 2016 and in 2018. Keith Davidson's testimony has ended for the day, so we may hear some other witnesses, but it was another day in which the prosecution's overall argument was bolstered by witnesses close to the key characters in this 34 felony count story.
Another busy day in court. Errol Barnett for us in Lower Manhattan. We'll check back in with you. Thanks, Errol.